friends, Mitty Man, coming back at you from Walker's Music with yet another word for today. Saturday morning, and we thank God for life, health, and strength. Thank you for the weather it is. You didn't have to wake up this morning, people, but He did. And for that, I am grateful. And we'll always give Him the glory. Giving a big shout out also to the YouTube family. Baby Justice, all the way up to Big Papa JT, as well as Mama JT. Y'all know the routine, as I always state, that we love you and it ain't too much you can do about it. I want to say that this morning is a kind of unusual Saturday morning for me. I don't have any rehearsal this morning, but I do have to go out in a couple of hours or more. My third Sunday church choir is going to one of the members' house. Do a sort of like a house blessing ceremony, and they wanted the choir to sing. They always want that choir to sing, and so I will go out and we'll try to honor the wishes of that member. Do what we can. Remember they had a little tragedy months back where they lost their home to a fire, and so this is. I'm going to bless this one, see what we're going to go on from there. As I stated on last evening on my video about the dedication of my salute to my friend and Brother Walter Pitts Jr., Brother June, we call him. And I just said that, I really mean every word of that, people. It's very rare you find a friend that indeed, Jesus said there is a friend that stick it closer than a brother. And I really believe that was mine, in other words, because of the fact that we never fell out. And I'm not talking about having a difference of opinion. You see, people, that's a real friend. You can have a difference of opinion, and a real friend should be able to tell you right and wrong and straighten you. And if they see you going in error, they try to stop you and try to help you. A real friend will do that, and they won't get mad at you for doing that. A real friend, like I said, you don't have very many friends. You have a lot of associates, but you don't have very, very many friends. That's why Jesus said there is a friend that stick it closer than a brother. So you have to mind who you call a friend, and you better believe that. And I said June was mine. June was one of my friends, my best friend, as far as when he was living, and I don't think I had another one quite like him since. And that's been over 34 years ago. Wanted to say this morning that, a lot of times people can say something. You can make your mouth, I always say that you can make your mouth say anything, but your heart and your actions speak louder than any word whatsoever. I want to read this morning. These him very few minutes. I want to come from John's 15th chapter. We want to start reading at the first verse. And it says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth much more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branches cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, no more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. May God add a blessing to the readers, hearers, and doers of his holy word. Now you see, people, this here sort of relates to what I told you on my last Bible study. In other words, when I was telling you about if you love him, you will keep his commandments. And then he said, if you ask anything in his name, he would do it. Well, this is saying really basically the same thing. Look at that verse 7. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. See, people, that's how I was saying you can make your mouth say anything, but your actions speak louder than words. Now, we see here what Jesus was speaking, and he said, he were the true vine. He didn't say that he was the only vine, but he said he was the true vine, meaning that there were perhaps other false vines out there. In other words, people carrying on as they were the vine. But Jesus said, I am the true vine. And he said his father is the husband. Now, people, let's define what is a husband. That is a caretaker to a degree. That's what that means. The person that does the gardening is the caretaker of that garden, or the husband of that garden. They take care of it. They make sure everything is trimmed and purged and clean and pretty. Well, Jesus said his father was the husband. Now, in other words, now, if you hanging on the vine, not bearing fruit, he going to cut you off. That's what that's saying, right? Yeah. He said, we are clean through the word which he spoke to us. He said, we are clean. He said, abide in him, and he abide in us. And you cannot bear fruit of its, a branch cannot bear fruit of itself. People, I've never seen a branch hanging and laying on the ground bearing fruit. It got to be connected to the tree. Just like we are. We must be connected to Christ. If we're going to bear any fruit, we got to be connected to the true, what? Vine. Now, he said, I'm the vine. He distinctly is telling you now, I'm the vine. You the branch. Except you abide in me. See, he that abideth in me and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing. See, in other words, people a lot of times we get to thinking that it's all about us and that we doing such a great job. You know, I tell you, many men is afraid to keep a book. You know, sometimes people try to keep a record of how much good they doing. They got to write it and jot it down. Every little thing they do, they want to. But I'm afraid to do that, people, because I'm afraid I may get to heaven. And when I stand before God, I got more on my book than he going to have on his. You see, it's not about you, it's not about me. And this is how come I stated on the last video, when it come to, you can make your mouth say anything, but your actions speak much louder. So you can tell me you with me all you want to, but I'm looking at how you treat me. That tells me whether or not you with me or not. Not by what you say. That is no whether hill of beans, what you talking about, what you speaking, and when you know the mouth can make it say anything. But Jesus saying here, if the branch don't bear fruit, if you bear fruit, then God gonna purge you. Meaning he gonna make some things uncomfortable in you to make you bear more fruit. Then if you resist that, then if you end up disconnecting yourself from the vine, then you're gonna wither up. Because, see, you can't bear fruit by yourself unless you abide in the vine. And then he said you're going to be gathered up, thrown into the fire. That's symbolic, people. That's symbolic to the lake of fire. And what happened to every person that does not abide in Jesus, if you don't abide in him, you cannot bear fruit and you're going to wither and dry up. And then there's nothing left but for you to be gathered up by the husbandman and cast into the fire. Please, people, don't be cast into the fire. Let's not be cast into the fire. Let us walk each day and pick up our cross daily. Follow the Lamb. Follow the Lamb that we might be in his book of life. That day we might live with him in his new kingdom. That he's going to set up, people. He's going to set it up. And people, just like he came the first time, it's documented. Eyewitnesses. It's documented. Just like he came the first time, he's coming again. He says, yes, sir. He's coming again. So with that being said, let us walk worthy of our calling. And let us walk every day as it's our last day. And make certain we give God the glory. This is Mitty Man saying peace. Goodbye.